Can we start now? I'm not okay with the audience, but okay. So, welcome to the next third event of the Gravity Dream Private Limited, and this is presented by Chandana and Saurav lately on the data privacy and the security. So, we will directly move into the event, and I will let Chandana and Saurav to take the stage. They are already on the stage area. So, here Chandana and Saurav, welcome to this event, and I would like you to start the event as soon as possible. Okay, so here is your
Yes,
stage.
Mayur. Thank you, Mayur.
Thank you,
Saurav, can
Mayur.
you share the screen?
Yeah, sure. Give me a second. I'm not able to share my screen. I don't know why. Okay, right now I can. Yeah. Guys, are you able to see our
Yeah,
screen?
yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are doing very good. I thank everyone for joining this event. Myself, I'm Chandana, and this is my team partner, Saurav Tripathi.
Hello, guys.
So, today's presentation is all about data privacy. So, before I get started, I have a few questions to you guys. Do you guys know what data privacy is about? Do you guys have any idea? If yes, then do you guys really think that data privacy is that needed or protecting your data is that important? The answer is a big yes. Data privacy, in a recent few years, it has been a mainstream that triggers the point being a regulation. Yeah, data privacy is mostly a mandate for all the organization. This is because a data is unique for your own identity. Data is something which is more valuable and costlier than the gold and the diamond. Protecting your data is equal to protecting the value of your life because your data is your identity. You should never let anyone get your data and use your identity as theirs. So, guys, if you have no idea about what data privacy is, or if you haven't protected your data till now and don't know how to protect also, then don't worry. My team will be explaining you on this and also how to save up your data.
Yeah, guys. Then what is data privacy? Data privacy is nothing but securing your data or personal data or precious data from data theft. Now you might be thinking that what is data theft? Data thief is a person, or you can say machine kind of thing, who stole your precious data, or you can say valuable data, and sell it to dark web. Here are the some kind of what you can say, some maintaining your data to secure. So there are six elements to how you can secure your data. First element is legal framework. There should be some legal, or you can say some rules or laws to secure your data. Policies. Whenever you establish a company, for example, right now Mayur has established one company, Gravitic Dreams. He has some kind of rules to secure his data. Now, practices. Practices is nothing but you should have some kind of infrastructure to secure your data. For example, let's take one example for Gravitic Dreams. In Gravitic Dreams, there are many subparts, like many sub companies, not companies, you can say subparts. For example, PHP developer, UI UX developer, then web developer. They might be having some kind of data security, or you can say data protecting thing kind of thing. Then comes the third party association. Whenever we fetch any kind of application, or you can say any kind of software, we'll be uploading in some kind of clouds. That provide cloud provider should assure you that there should be your data should be secure. For securing your data, there are four types of cloud. First one is public, private. Second one is private. Third one is community, and fourth one is hybrid. It depends on you which type of data you're gonna save.
So, guys, why do you think this is important? Data privacy, it directly relates for the business value of data. The evolving data economy is driving the businesses of all the sizes to collect and store more data from more sources than ever before. The data is used for the range of business reason and also the personal reason. There are few points as to identify the customer, understanding their needs, and to provide the goods and services to them, to understand the business infrastructure, facilities, and the human behavior based on the data from the networks and devices, to glean the insight from the database to the data source. These points are related to the reason of the data businesses why the data privacy is important. The data privacy, it is in a discipline to extend to keep the data safe against the improper access or theft or loss. Data is something which should be secure without the sound data management, or it should not relate for the unauthorized access that might result in the data loss or theft. For an individual like us, we should be aware of knowing why a small organization as well as the large organization is asking for those informations that are not at all relevant. For the business organization, the unauthorized access to a sensitive data can be explored to the intellectual property. For example, you guys are here and working over here before the head of the organization has already told you that you should never share any related data to anyone. This doesn't happen only here. This happens everywhere in all the organization and a company because this is the trade secret and a confidential communication. So we know that, or we may have heard, or you may not have heard about many people how they have faced the problem from the data loss and theft. Here we will be playing a 5 minutes of video from a Madhumati Murgai, who is an influencer and a motivator who shares her experience about how her data was broken.
In the UK, the law states that any personal data set has to be stripped of identifiers such as your name or your national insurance number. Personal data is considered anything that can be traced directly back to you without the need for additional information. This doesn't mean it can't be sold on, it only means that they need your permission. Simple examples of personal data include your full credit card number, your bank statement, or a criminal record. However, I discovered that online anonymity is a complete myth. Particulars such as your postcode, your date of birth, and your gender can be traded freely and without your permission because they're not considered personal but pseudonymous. In other words, they can't be traced back to you without the need for additional information. So why does it matter if a bunch of companies you've never heard of know your age or your postcode, you may think? Well, it matters quite a lot. About a decade ago, Latanya Sweeney, a professor of privacy at Harvard University, proved that about 87% of US citizens could be uniquely identified by just 3 facts about them: their zip code, their date of birth, and their gender. In the UK, where we have far fewer citizens serviced by much longer postcodes, that probability is far higher. Professor Sweeney proved this in a rather cheeky way when William Weld, a former governor of Cambridge, Massachusetts in the US, decided to support the commercial release of 135,000 state employee health records along with their families, including his own. These records did not contain a name or a social security number, but did contain hundreds of fields of sensitive medical information, including drugs prescribed, hospitalizations, and procedures performed on these employees. For $20, Professor Sweeney purchased the voter records for Cambridge, Massachusetts, containing the names, zip codes, date of birth, and gender for every voter in the area, and then cross-referenced this with their health records. Within minutes, she had pinpointed Governor Weld's own health records. Only 6 people in Cambridge shared his date of birth. 3 of them were men, and he was the only one living in his zip code. Professor Sweeney sent the governor his health records in the post. Every day, we hear about new examples of companies digging ever deeper into our personal lives. In the November US presidential election, a little-known company, British company, known as Cambridge Analytica, was tasked with winning the election for a certain candidate, Donald Trump, using data analytics. The company employed cookies online to track people around the web, logging every website visited, every search term typed, and every video watched. They also created a viral Facebook quiz to dig into people's personalities, which was taken by over 6 million people. In total, they managed to amass data on 220 million voting Americans, with an average of about 5,000 pieces of data on each person. They then used this data to understand people's inner feelings and then targeted adverts to them on Facebook. Researchers have called them a propaganda machine. And it's not just large companies digging into your life, it's free apps and small startups as well. I realized on my phone that every time I logged fitness data into the app Endomondo, it was sharing my details, including my location and gender, with third-party advertisers. WebMD, a symptom checkers app, was sharing even more sensitive information, including the symptoms, procedures, and drugs viewed by users within its app, with its third parties. Fitbit was sharing data with Yahoo. A pregnancy tracking app was selling on information about its users' ovulation cycles and fertility cycles with people or advertisers like InMobi. As long as my phone is turned on, my location can be tracked. And not just by the obvious apps, like Google Maps, but a whole host of unrelated services, from Uber to Twitter, Photos, Snapchat, TripAdvisor, and others. You're not even safe in your own home. In 2015, Samsung was found to be recording people in the homes in which their TVs had been sold using their voice recognition systems. They have now adapted this, so they only record when the voice recognition is activated. But the creepy factor remains. Even services like Google and Facebook, trusted and used by billions around the world, have been accused of crossing the line. A few weeks ago, my husband and I were driving home from work and discussing where we should have dinner. I suggested a restaurant that I knew was somewhere on our way back, and then opened up Google Maps to plot it. Turns out it was already marked on the map with a little bubble. That sinking feeling of being watched is not unique to me. There have been several anecdotal reports of people being shown adverts based on things and conversations they were having in real life, prompting concerns that Facebook and Google are eavesdropping on people via their personal devices.
So, you guys have heard it from her. You guys are not safe in your own home. So, to protect the data from the data loss and theft, there are few laws which was organized by the different country and the states. So, you can see a few laws which I have listed over here. The Children Online Privacy Protection Act. This gives the parent control over what the information the website is collecting from their kids. The Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. This ensures the patients all the healthcare related data. Electronic Communication Privacy Act. This is where the government restricts on the wire tape and also includes the transmission of our electronic data. Video Privacy Protection Act. This is where the individual PII, personal identification information, should not be shared to any of the third party. Gramm-Leach-Bley Act. This is related to the financial institute that deals with the individual private information. Fair Credit Reporting Act. This relates to the collection and also use of the credit information. Whereas some US protection laws are as follows. The California Consumer Privacy Act, California Privacy Right Act, Colorado Privacy Act, New York Shield Act, Uttar Consumer Privacy Act, Connecticut Privacy Data Personally Personal Data Privacy and Online Monitoring Act. Many of us think that data privacy and data security are same. But let me make you clear that data privacy and data security are closely related but not the same. Where data privacy focuses on the issue relating and collecting, storing, retaining the data, whereas data transforms within a applicable regulations and laws such as General Data Protection Regulations and HIPAA. HIPAA is related to the health. Data security is protecting of the data against unauthorized access, law, corruption throughout the data life cycle. Data security can involve the process and also the practice along with variety of tools such as encryption, hashing and tokenization to guard data at rest and in the motion too. I can say that data privacy is a subset of the data security. That is, data privacy cannot exist without the data security.
Now, here comes the data security. Data security ensures that your data is secured. For example, you will be encrypting your data or file for securing from other users. Then comes access control. If you give your data to anyone, does it means you have given the access control to everyone? No. Like access control means giving your certain data to certain peoples only. Here comes data protection. Are your data is protected? If not, then comes the next slide. Here are the some tips to protect your data. First tip is you should encourage that your password is strong enough. Like many of the users get hacked easily. Why? Because they put their password like 1234 at the rate 1245. Isn't that strong password? I don't think so. Then comes the two-time authentication. Actually, two-time authentication was launched by Microsoft on April 17, 2013 because there was some data breaching from their side. Then comes third point, use only trusted apps and give authentication to them only. Because if you give authentication to unwanted apps, they will easily can take your data and sell it in dark web. Then comes the backup number. Whenever you open your new Gmail account or mail account, why they ask your number? If you're if you're not giving your number, you can't get your email ID or data back because in case your password has been changed by someone else, so you need to back up your data. So they ask your mobile number for as a backup. Here comes the next slide. Like it's a unique thing. Like have you heard दीवारों के भी कान होते हैं? Here is the something like the conversation is easily overheard. Someone is listening, as in be careful, you say. The wall have ears, and so do your phone. Because nowadays, whenever you say something in front of your phone, they'll be listening to it and giving you some kind of pop-up ads whenever you scroll down in Instagram or any social media. And I hope you love our presentation. Thank you for watching it.
Thank you guys for listening to us.
So that was a huge presentation, and it requires a huge round of claps for them. It was an appreciable presentation. But before uh, going further, I would like to ask our audience that if they have any questions, they may raise your hands and come on the stage and then ask the questions to the organizers itself here and the speakers of our today's program. So I would request everyone that if you have any questions, please let us know.
Mayur, thank you for your appreciation, by the way.
Okay, so Aman has the question. I am inviting Aman to speak on the stage. Aman, can you please come and ask the questions? Yeah, Aman.
Yeah, yeah, Mayur. Uh, Chandana and Saurav, the presentation was very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had a question that we use Facebook, like
Yeah.
most of 70% people use the Facebook. It
Mm.
has many data breaches, like some report was there. It uses private data of the person, like they use the data, but still people are using the Facebook. And you might be heard about the Google Maps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you go somewhere while
Mm.
coming, like on the way, it will be asking like how was the place, can you give the review. It is tracking you,
Yeah. Yes.
but still we are using it. Why it is?
It's
Because
because of
we,
people negligence. Because see, as in the video, the Maruti, Madhumati, she said that while she was traveling, the Google Map has already given her the reference of any restaurant. As you said, Facebook, it is asking for your date of birth. Many people think that Facebook is all the social media is asking the date of birth just because to know whether the user are above 18 or below 18. See, there are many kids who are below 18 and they still use Facebook. The Facebook, they really don't want whether you are above 18 or below 18. They really want your date of birth, your gender, and your email to track what type of a person are you. So, Mayur, one question to you. Even so, you know that Facebook is using our data, even Google Map is using our data. So, have you stopped using Google Maps and all?
On this question, I would like to respond you something like a psychological thing
Yes,
that will
Mayur.
be more appropriate to answer. So, see what happens with the social networks and the applications developed by the Google. They have
Mm.
pinpointedly studied the human psychology first. Okay,
Yeah, exactly.
whenever you say a social media, not just a Facebook, every social media hacks you till the level of subconscious mind. Okay, whenever you start using it, you feel you are on the dopamine, you are on the drugs. It feels good to use them. Okay, and what happens with the Google Maps and Google things is there are only one thing in the market that you want to use trustfully, with accurately, and they are using it for their own importance. Okay, so one thing is something is going giving you the dopamine, and second thing is there is no competition. So that's why you also knowing you know that the Indian government has developed the our own operating system. Okay, and then the development of application is there, development of our own GPS known as Navic is there, but still there is a some condition and the variety that we are going to transform this whole habit of using the American brand GPS or Google's to our Indian brand. It takes time. Okay, and for the social media it's just a dopamine, you can't explore or exploit it. Okay, or live it as it is, you have to be struggling with that before living, just like a cigarette smoking habit. So
Mm.
hope I have answered you.
Yeah, Mayur.
Okay,
Aman, did you got?
Yes, yes. Thank you.
okay. Any more questions, Aman?
No, no, Mayur.
Okay,
That.
so any other questions in the audience, please raise your hands. It will
I
be
guess
appreciated.
Sakshat is typing something. Oh, Sakshat.
Let's see, Priyanka is typing something and Sakshat is typing too. Let's wait for them.
Thank you,
thank you, Priya.
Priyanka.
It means a lot.
Yeah. Chandana and Saurav, you have a question from the Saksha side of you. Is there are any some laws made by the Indian government for data security? Can you please answer for them?
Actually, there are laws in India, like a Information Technology Act, but this is only inside the India, and that's the reason I haven't mentioned in the slides. But there
Yeah,
are many laws which is in India and as well as other states too,
Okay.
yeah,
states and countries also.
and even within the state there are some laws. I don't remember about it, and I haven't studied about it. Even in within the states there are some things, some laws.
Hope, Sakshit, you have got your answers. Can you please acknowledge us?
Thank you, Sakshat.
Thank you.
So, anyone has any other questions or want to come on the stage to speak something else not related to the questions? They can. You have the stage area. You have to just raise hands to let us know.
Thank you, Sakshat.
Yeah, one more question from the Aman side. You have to answer it. I will just repeat the question. Are the Indian laws are very helpful or they need to improve? Chandana and Saurav, any
In
perspective on
India,
this?
I'm not hello,
Yeah,
hello, am
go
I
on.
audible?
Yeah, go on, go on.
Yeah. So I'm not degrading my country, but as you can see, the different laws or the different cases which is going on, the Indian laws are very powerful, but it takes the right person or a right lawyer to defend it, and where it goes to the right person. But actually, India law is very helpful. The
As
improvement
compared to
should
other
be,
countries.
yeah, but the improvement should be done only on the person or else on which platform it is going.
Okay, so they are general.
Yeah,
I'm speaking over the
sorry,
call.
Aman has asked one more question. Yeah, I'm saying that laws of the security, yeah, it is very powerful. See, there are many cases you can research on that about the many country. Like as you can see that Saurav has said about the Microsoft, one example he has given. And yes, now being from the law act itself, now the Microsoft has been secure for their data. Now it is not getting lost and all. Then why? Aman, I said you it goes to the right person where or else where you take it.
Okay, generally they are Chandana and Saurav are responding to your question that they have said that we have the great laws, okay, like IT Indian law 2009, 2001, 2003. There are Indian IT laws, but it requires the right person and right about information. We have do not have a public information on such that law. If we have such that law in a public information, we are not using it as a disciplined people. Okay, we lack of discipline. Okay, so if you are asking why the Google is not applying on this, it is called a monopoly. Okay, I think Aman, you are asking about the recent affairs between Google and the Indian government between the fine of 13,007 uh, 100 crore, something like that. Okay, I don't know the perfect figures. Okay, so it is there. Okay, it will be taken by the government. Okay, Google cannot deny it, because what happens, it is a propaganda that if the European Union sanctions some kind of fine on the Google, they will pay it, but not the India. Okay, they are pressurizing us to not affair in between their own work or due diligence, but they are not getting that, or Indian people has also the privacy. Okay, so it is only about that, but in the few time they will have to accept it because they have the market in here. Okay, hope this resolves your answer, and it will help you. Aman, we are waiting for your acknowledgement. Aman, if you have many more questions, you can also come on the stage or request for that. Okay, you have said thank you. Chandana and Saurav, you have been appreciated with the answer. So
Yeah.
Thank you, Sav.
with this, I would like to have one more time uh, big round of claps for Chandana and Saurav to informing us for the data security and the privacy. So, do you want to say something, Chandana and Saurav? You can say, then we will just end it here.
Yes, Mayur. Like, first of all, thanks for this opportunity. And I really thank everyone who are there here for all the involvement. This really made my confidence level grow up. Thank you all.
Yeah, even I want to thank to everyone to giving your valuable time and coming here and listening to our presentation. It gives like you have done a great thing. Thank you guys.
Okay, your contribution towards this whole presentation and informing us about the data privacy and security will be appreciated. And thanks to you guys, we all know uh, a very introductory part about data privacy and security. Whatever you have given us the suggestions to secure our data, we will just apply it uh, in any condition that can be possible for us to do. Okay, we will also just look for the data privacy and the privacy breaches and respond according to it. Okay, so thank you for sharing us the huge amount of data related to our privacy. uh, Thank you.